tell us about the bull market in 82 and the environment. Were you surprised? 1982 was a very scary period for this country. We had 9 recessions since World War II. This was the worst. 14% inflation. And right now we're worried about 5% inflation. Imagine 14, dude. We had 20% prime rate, 15% long governments. It was ugly, dude. And the economy was really much in a free fall, and people were really worried. Is this it? Has the American economy had it? Are we going to be able to control inflation? I mean, there was a lot of very uncertain times. You had to say to yourself, I believe in it. I believe in stocks. I believe in companies. I believe they can control this. And this is an anomaly. Double-digit inflation is a rare thing. It doesn't happen very often. And in fact, one of my shareholders wrote me and said, do you realize that over half the companies in your portfolio are losing money right now? I looked it up and he was right, or she was right. But I was ready. I mean, I said, these companies are going to do well once the economy comes back. We've got out of every other recession. I don't see why we won't come back from this one. And it came out, and once we came back, the market went north. Basically, Peter Lynch was like, I'm just going to hold kind of thing, you know? And people are talking about inflation hitting us right now, especially while, you know, the interest rates are at basically zero. A lot of people are scared about this, you know, and Peter Lynch is just kind of like, this happens like clockwork. Just hold on. And then once we get out of it, it'll be okay. Do you guys have any thoughts about that? That's fascinating. And I've not been through, I don't think I've been investing through really severe, potentially severe inflation yet in my life. So I thought this was interesting. So nobody told you that crash was coming, right? In 82. And he says, it's lovely to know when there's a recession. I don't remember anybody predicting 1982. We're going to have 14% inflation, 12% unemployment, a 20% prime rate, you know, the worst recession since the Depression. I don't remember any of that being predicted. It just happened. It's just like, boom, depression in your face. It was there. It was ugly. And I don't remember anybody telling me about it. So I don't worry about any of that stuff. I've always said if you spend 13 minutes a year on economics, you've wasted 10 minutes. So his kind of way of looking at it is like, yeah, there's all this huge economics stuff happening. Depression, unemployment, prime rates insane. Inflation's going crazy. I don't worry about it. That's basically like how he handles that. And I think like in our world right now where it's like, oh, the Fed's doing this. Oh my gosh. Jay Powell's doing this. Oh my gosh. Elon Musk and Bitcoin. Oh my gosh, this is happening. What should we do? I got to move my money around. Peter Lynch is just like, same old. Just keep buying good companies. And it's like, dude, that's really shocking and kind of comforting. Let me know what you guys think about that. We're talking about Peter Lynch, and he just blew my mind saying that, you know, don't waste your time talking about economics. Almost, basically. So what should people think about then, rather than, you know, looking at all this inflation and unemployment and prime rate and all this stuff? Says, well, they should think about what's happening. I'm talking about economics as forecasting the future. If you own auto stocks, you ought to be very interested in used car prices. If you own aluminum companies, you ought to be interested in what's happening to inventories of aluminum. If your stocks are hotels, you ought to be interested in how many people are building hotels. These are facts. People talk about what's going to happen in the future. That's the average recession. That the average recession lasts 0.2 years, or who knows? Or is that supposed to be 2 years? I'm not sure. I think it's 0.2 years. There's no reason why we can't have an average economic expansion that lasts longer. I mean, I deal in facts, not forecasting the future. That's crystal ball stuff. That doesn't work. Futile. So that's a pretty refreshing. Good morning, Rob B. Clown and Diamond Hand, what up? So Peter Lynch is basically saying, like, dude, we are incapable of understanding or predicting what's happening going forward, so ignore it. Literally just look at what you can look at now and act on that now. And if, like you said in the last or 2 questions ago, if you are invested in companies that are doing good, who cares if the economy falls apart? They will do good again one day. The world is not going to end. Actually, the world will end probably at some point. Who knows? But that we'll have bigger problems to worry about at that time. I think is what he would say.